Through this course so far, we've been dealing a lot with alpha channels, but we haven't focused on them, and maybe they're still a bit confusing to you. So let's talk about them and go through some examples. And if you hear me say matte, that just means alpha channel. The terms are more or less interchangeable. Most of the reason all the layering we've been doing has worked is because of alpha channels. When we have the other objects render layer and the guitar render layer separated, the reason they have transparent areas that allow us to see other layers underneath them is because they have an alpha channel telling the layer what is opaque and what is transparent. So the alpha channel is a channel just like red, green, and blue, and it represents the transparency of an image. Wait. Red, green, and blue channels? What am I talking about now? So almost all digital images are made from a color model called RGBA. RGBA stands for red, green, blue, and alpha. In the upper right corner of the image viewer is a tab called Display Channels, and this is where we can view our various channels. And down at the bottom of the image window, if you right-click on an image and drag around, you can see a bunch of values being displayed, including red, green, blue, and alpha. This way you can quickly inspect the image if you need to know a specific value. Let's take a look at a basic color image. When an image has red in it, that red is stored as a value of 1 in the red channel, while everywhere that has no red at all is stored as 0. And that's the same for green and for blue. Every other color available on your computer monitor, and there's millions of them, has a certain amount of red, green, and blue in it. And the R, G, and B channels are storing that as black and white images with values ranging anywhere from 0 to 1. When you add them together, they create the full color image. A value of 1 in all three channels will give you the color white, while a value of 0 in all three will give you the color black. A value of 0.5 red and 0.5 green will give you yellow. A value of 0.12 red, 0.73 green, and 0.98 blue will give you this kind of bright sky blue color. And the alpha channel is the same way, except it's storing transparency instead of a pixel's color value. In an alpha channel, white means the object will be opaque, while black will be transparent. Shades of gray represent varying levels of transparency. So an alpha channel with pixels that are 50% gray, when layered over another image, will show you 50% of the foreground image and 50% of the background image. Let's take a look at the alpha channel of the guitar layer. It shows you exactly where the guitar, amplifier, and cable are going to be, while black will reveal the layer underneath of this one. So that's exactly what an alpha channel is. And with all these being separate channels, you can swap them out or modify them however you like. They can be completely different images if you like. For example, here's a simple gradient background and an image of a beach, and we can layer them using this black and white text layer as the alpha channel. We've just been viewing the color channels here in the viewer, but if we want to actually use one in compositing, we have a couple nodes that let us separate and recombine the channels. In Color, Mix, we have Separate Color and Combine Color. Let's drop in Separate. Using our guitar image, you can flip through and see the different values in each color channel. A good example is the guitar itself. It's a shade of blue, which means obviously it should have more blue in it than red. In the red channel, we can see the value is very low and it's very dark. But in the blue channel, the value is higher and brighter. The pickguard, though, which is more or less white, stays almost the same value through all three channels. So what good is all this? Well, in compositing, we often use the color channels themselves as alpha channels. To show this, let's open up the project we used in the motion blur lesson, the jet fighter flying overhead. Putting the plane behind the tree was extremely easy because the sky is mostly a solid blue color. If we look at the blue channel, it's almost perfectly black and white. I put in a color ramp node to bring it even closer to pure black and white, and then I inverted it, making an alpha channel for the leaves. Then I can simply use that to put the leaves from the footage over top of the airplane render. In all the films and television shows I've worked on over the years, this is a very common way to bring back important details when compositing one piece of footage over another, like an actor's hair, for example, or leaves, like in this example. So it's an essential tip to know. In the next lesson, we'll take a look at a few different ways to create alpha channels for your scenes.